Hello everyone and welcome to day 7 of our challenge. This is our very last day and today we're going to slow it down, we're going to stretch it out. So before we start, make sure to read the descriptions below because you might be needing some props and equipment, and then we're going to get started. The first part of the class is going to be some dynamic stretches, some movement to warm up the body a little bit, and then the last and bigger part of the class will be deep stretching. Let's get started. So let's start with the feet hip width apart. Let's reach the arms over the head on the inhale. On your exhale, pull your elbows down, cactus arms. Inhale, arms reach back over the head and then bend your knees to fold forward. And then we roll up through the spine for the head to come up last. Let's do that again. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, pull down. Inhale, reach your arms up. Folding forward on the exhale, rolling up through the spine. Let's go one more time. Inhale, arms reach up, big stretch. Exhale, pull it down, cactus arms. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, folding forward, now staying down there, relaxing your head. Maybe give your head a little shake. Maybe shake the head yes, shake the head no. And maybe you can find a pedal through the feet, stretching one leg a little bit more than the other and then switching to the other side, finding that gentle stretch for the back of the legs. Or it can feel already quite intense, actually, depending how much you're stretching your legs. Just try to focus in this session to do what feels good, trying not to work at 100%, but be gentle with the body, listen to your body, and make it feel nice. All right, staying still here, grabbing your elbows, and we can gently sway the body from side to side. Making sure that we keep the head relaxed, so that means we should be looking towards the legs rather than looking down at the ground. So you can feel the difference straight away when you let the head hang down. That's a nice relaxation for the neck that can hold on to quite a bit of tension. All right. Nice from here, releasing your hands and now making sure to turn towards the longer edge of your mat. Bend your knees a lot and walk your hands forward, drop your knees onto the ground and find your tabletop position. Now from here, taking a deep breath in, open your chest, drop the navel, lift your chin. Exhale to reverse, cat and cow, stretching out the front body and then stretching the back body. Follow your own breath. Use your big inhale to open up and then your long exhale to find that stretch. Inhale to stretch the front body, opening through the chest, feeling that length, and then rounding the back, pulling everything up towards the ceiling. Taking 2 more breaths here. Don't forget chin to chest when you round the back. And then rounding to squeeze. Then we're finding our neutral position, so neutral spine. Now on your next inhale, take your left arm up to the sky, twisting through the spine, opening up through the chest. On your exhale, we're going to thread the needle. So take that left arm underneath the right. Let your left ear drop down to the ground or the left side of your head. And then we take a big inhale, coming back up to that rotation through the spine. On your exhale, thread the needle. Inhale, reaching up. Last exhale to reach through, twist, twist, twist. Pushing back up to that tabletop position. Let's take one inhale to lower the belly, open the chest, lift the chin. Exhale to round your spine. Coming back to center, take a deep breath in. Right arm is reaching up. And then thread the needle. Reach that arm underneath. Take your right ear towards the mat. Inhale, opening back up. We're pushing into the left hand. We're opening up the chest to the sky. Exhale, thread the needle. Let's go for one more here. Deep breath in. Follow your breath. Inhale to open. And then exhale to twist, 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 twist. Good. Pushing back up into your tabletop position. Inhale, lower the belly, open the chest, lift your chin. Exhale to round. Good, coming back to center. Now from here, just pull your hips towards your heels and then shift your weight back forward to tabletop. And we're just moving through this here. It can feel nice to inhale on the way forward and then exhale on the way back. Inhale forward. Exhale back, lengthening the spine, a gentle stretch for the shoulders. Now you keep moving here. If you're looking for a little bit more depth into this movement, take your hands more towards the front of the mat. Sit your hips back, lift your hips up towards the ceiling as you stretch the shoulders, and then reach the weight forward. Yeah, so the hips come towards the heels, stretch out the arms just to the ground, reaching back forward. We can still take the exhale as we come back and the inhale as we come forward. Reach. Let's go for 2 more breath cycles. Last one. And release. All right, now from here, walk your hands closer towards yourself. Feel your hips sink all the way down to your heels. Rest your forehead down onto the ground. Feeling your stomach pressing against your legs, your thighs. Feeling your spine relax down to the ground, forehead heavy. Good, and from here, reaching back up to that tabletop position. Now we're going to just step our right foot forward. Make sure the right foot is underneath the right knee here. Now the back leg is going to shimmy a little bit further out as far as your body allows to find a stretch for the hip flexor here and for the quad. We're just gonna stay here for a moment just to feel into that stretch. Sinking the hips low, reaching your upper body forward. Then from here, we're gonna push our hips backwards, flex the front foot, maybe walk your hands with you, find your hamstring stretch, flex for the front foot. We're leaning the upper body forward a little bit. And then we're walking back forward through the hands, shift the hips back forward. And we're walking back here. Maybe we exhale to stretch the hamstring. We inhale to sink those hips back down. You can also leave your hands just where they are, finding a little bit more depth, reaching more over that front leg. Inhale to come forward. Exhale to reach. Inhale, leaning forward. Try to open your chest as you come forward. Exhale, folding over the front leg if that's available to you. Let's go for 2 more breaths. And release. Last one here. And release. Okay, we're stepping our foot back forward. Hands come down onto the mat. Tuck the toes of your back leg and then find your way to a downward facing dog. So hips are reaching up high. Hands are pressing down into the mat. Pedal through your feet if it feels nice, just to move into it, whatever feels nice to your body. All right, so let's take it to the other side. Drop back your knees down onto the mat, tabletop. Left foot is gonna step forward here, making sure we have that foot underneath the knee, and take the right leg to shimmy back, shimmy back. From there, sink your hips down, feeling length in your spine, stretching the front of the right leg this time. And from here, stretching the front leg, reach your hips back, walk your hands with you, and then shift the weight back forward. We can inhale as we come forward, and then we can exhale when we come back. Try not to judge yourself on wherever it is that you are right now. You are exactly where you need to be. A stretch should feel good. And I know sometimes it can feel a little bit uncomfortable. That's also part of it. But trying to find that happy medium, right? We don't want to be shaking legs. You don't want to be unable to breathe normally and deeply, right? So the breath should be flowing. It should feel nice and with a little edge, I would say. Last one here. Reaching back forward. One more time. Hands come down, tuck your toes, lift your hips, stretch it out. Pedal through the feet if that feels nice. Sway your hips. Just find any movements that feel good for you right now. Doesn't matter what it exactly is. Listen to your body. All right, let's drop the knees back down and then come to a seated position. All right, that's it for the dynamic part for today. So let's transition into our deep stretching, and with that comes also deep breathing. Find a comfortable seat. If you find it uncomfortable to sit cross-legged, you can always sit on top of something to elevate the hips a little bit. That can be comfortable, so the knees can kind of drop down a little bit more, or otherwise, any other comfortable seat, yeah? We want to be comfortable in this position so we can focus on our breath just for a little bit before we get into our stretches. All right, so finding our seat, See if you can place your hands onto your knees. You can gaze down or maybe even close your eyes if that feels good for you. And just tuning in for a moment here, noticing how the breath is flowing through the body right now. First, we will just take a normal breath in through the nose. A normal breath out. Let's do that again. Inhale. And exhale. One more. And exhale. Good. Now keep breathing here for a moment. When we come into our deep breathing, we will be inhaling for 4 counts and then exhaling for 8 counts. We want to slightly squeezing into the throat so that we get this hissing sound, which can be called ocean breath. This way we are able to elongate the exhalation. Let's just give it a try. On the inhale, 4 counts in through the nose. Exhale for 8 through the mouth. Inhale through the nose for 4. Exhale through the mouth for 8. All right, let's blink open the eyes if they were closed. So you can either breathe out through pursed lips or with that ocean breath. But trying to really elongate that exhalation, maybe you can feel it, I can feel it right now. It brings the energy down, it calms you down. It sends a message to our nervous system, everything is okay, we are safe, we can let go of the tension in our muscles and we can open up. So remind yourself of that and I will do the same, of course. So let's get into it. All right, for the first series of stretches, I'm gonna be using a strap or anything that you have that can function as a strap is also fine. We're coming into a lying down position, so potentially you might need your pillow or your yoga blocks or anything that you have, so keep them close. And then we're gonna grab our strap. All right, this one is for the hamstrings, for the inner leg, so mainly the back and the inside of the legs here. A little bit for the hips as well. I'm going to time us so that we are not staying into any poses too long or too short. So, all right, laying down on your mat, let's take our strap. We're gonna place it around the left foot and extend the left leg up to the sky. We wanna flex the foot, and we wanna take the right leg to relax down on the mat. Okay, straight away here, if you feel like you're stuck and you don't really feel that stretch in the hamstring because the leg doesn't come up so much, elevate your hips, put a pillow underneath, yeah? So this way you have a little bit more of your leg coming towards you. And again, it doesn't matter where you're at, you're exactly where you need to be, all right? If you need a little bend in your knee, you just go for it. But we're holding on to that bend here with both hands, arms are long. Relaxing the body on the mat. And I'm gonna start the timer. All right. Now the challenge is to relax most of the body. You want to really feel like you're sinking into the mat, relaxing all of your muscles. Of course, we can feel a little bit of tension behind the leg because we're stretching it. So we want to send our breath into that area. Let's take a nice deep breath in through the nose for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's exhale for 8. Let's do that again. Inhale for 4. And exhale for 8. Keeping those nice deep breaths going and notice what happens into your body as you breathe so slow. What can you feel? Relaxing your shoulders, let them sink down into the ground. Drop the back of your head into the ground. Relaxing the muscles on your face as much as possible, unsqueezing your jaw, unfrowning your frown. And of course, because we're holding on to that stretch band, maybe if we feel the space, we can grab our band even a little bit higher so we find a little bit more depth. If we have it, go for it. If you're good where you are, stay exactly there. Focus on that deep breath and relaxation through the rest of the body. Trying not to tense up the other leg, keep it relaxed. Let it hang out on the mat. All right, let's take one more deep breath in here. Exhale for 8. Great, that was 2 minutes. Not too bad, I hope. We're gonna stay like this, but just change it a little bit. The right arm is gonna open out sideways, 90-degree angle. Your arm is still nice and long, keep it straight. Then from here, we're going to start to open our leg out a little bit towards the side. Yes, so the leg is opening out towards the left. So we're opening the hip, we're stretching still into the hamstrings, but this time also into the inner leg. I'm gonna start my timer, and then let's sink into this one. Both arms are straight, both legs are straight. If this feels super uncomfortable, you could also place your leg against the wall, just to lean against it. You will still be stretching. You have better opportunity to really relax into it, which is good. And you just have that little extra support. You've got to find out what you need. It's different for everyone. Everyone has their own journey. We all have different bodies. We just want to feel our stretch. No shaky legs. No shallow breath. Deep breathing. Long muscles. 4 counts on the inhale. 8 counts on the exhale. It's really great to stretch our hamstrings because most of the time we shorten them by sitting down, running, walking, cycling. So it's good to take this moment to allow them to open up rather than to contract. And we use the breath to allow them to do so. And yes, it can feel a little bit uncomfortable. It's part of the game. We're almost there though. You have 30 more seconds. Let's take that another deep breath through the nose. Let's inhale for 4. Exhale for 8. One more deep breath here. Exhale for 8. Great, let's pull the leg back towards the center. Take it easy. Place your right foot on the mat, release your stretch band, and then place both feet onto the mat. Lay down still and just shake out your legs. Because of course in that left leg we can feel some tension, but hopefully you're also feeling good, feeling a little bit more spacious and nice and relaxed. All right, let's take it to the other side. Okay, we're coming back to our stretch band. We're gonna extend the right leg up to the sky. Place your stretch band around it, or sorry, your strap rather. You could use a stretch band, but it's better to use something that's not stretchy. And then I'm gonna start our timer again. Left leg is extending down onto the mat, relaxing. Right leg is reaching up to the sky. We're holding on to our band, and as I said earlier, keeping both arms and legs straight here. If you're looking for more stretch, you can walk your hands higher up that strap, closer to your feet, to your foot. And then let's sink into the mat here. Relax your shoulders more. Heavy chest, heavy back of the head. Nice deep breath. Coming back to that breath 4 on the inhale, 8 on the exhale, ocean breath. Sending a message to our system. We are safe, we're supported by the ground. We can let go of tension, soften, and lengthen. And maybe during those 2 minutes you can find a little bit more space. Because usually after a few breath cycles, the body starts to open up, to let go, and you can find a little bit more flexibility, which feels nice. But it can also mean that it doesn't happen straight away, that you need a few sessions to allow the body to open up more. Either way, it's good to do it. It's nice to slow down sometimes and just focus on the breath. Allow your body to move super slow, to sit with it. All right. That's it for this one. I'm gonna restart the timer. We're gonna open up the leg. Yeah, so left arm is gonna open out sideways, 90 degrees away from the body. And we're going to open up through that right leg. Again, you find where your happy medium is. No shaky legs, no shallow breath. Deep breathe in. We need to be able to stay into this position for those 2 minutes. So if we go 100% and we are crumbling after 10 seconds, that's not where we want to be. So find your happy medium. And then maybe after a few breaths, you can find a little bit more. That is better than the other way around. All right, let's take a deep breath in through the nose for 4, 3, 2, and 1. We exhale for 8. Softening the shoulders, relaxing the opposite leg here. So your left leg is relaxing down on the mat. Both arms straight, both legs straight. Remember, you have those options to elevate the hips or to rest your right leg against the wall for a little bit more stability, for a little bit more support. You choose what works for you. This one can definitely be a little bit more challenging. And also you can feel a little bit more work for the arms. I know. We're getting there though. Deep breath in through the nose. Exhaling for 8. Gently pulling your leg back to the center. Place your left foot on the mat. Release your strap. Let's put that to the side and let's take a shake for the legs. Just shaking it out, releasing of that tension. Well done. All right, let's roll onto our side here, pushing up to a seated position. And then let's get moving into the next stretch. We're going to focus more on shoulders. We will eventually lay back down again, which is nice. But I'm just going to show you seated so you know what you're doing. So eagle arms, we're going to open the arms wide. And then taking your left arm underneath the right, crossing at the elbows. And then we're going to bend the elbows. Eventually, maybe the hands are going to move closer towards one another. Eventually, maybe the hands can even cross around each other. No worries if that's not available to you. Wherever you are, you're going to get that stretch. So maybe it's even the back of your hand pushing against your elbow. Maybe the elbows are crossing and the hands are still separated. Maybe the hands come closer together and maybe they twist around each other. Whatever works for you. Remember, we want to stay in this position for 2 minutes. So don't go full 100% because then maybe after 10 seconds, your body will have to let go. So you find your happy medium. Then for this stretch, we're gonna come to lay down. So I just want you to find a comfortable position, whatever that means for you. Maybe the legs are lengthened. Maybe you wanna put something underneath your knees so you're more relaxed here and also releasing tension from the lower back. Me personally, I like to have my feet on the mat, take them a little bit wider, and then let my knees drop together in the center. Up to you. Find something that's comfortable, that doesn't actually allow you to stretch the lower body at all, just to relax as much as possible, okay? And then let's come down to that laying down position, and we're coming back to those ego arms, but then laying down. So let's open the arms wide. Then we're gonna cross the left arm underneath the right, crossing at the elbows. Find your stretch. Remember, you can take the hand, the forearm or the elbow. You can take the backs of the hands closer together, or you can wrap them around each other. Now, once you're in this position, I want you to think about your hands wherever they are and reach them a little bit more towards the top edge of your mat, so kind of over your head. So the elbows are gonna come a little bit more over your face. You can feel the difference probably. It increases the intensity a little bit. Stay where you are. I'm just going to put on our timer. All right. Taking a nice deep breath in through the nose. And fully exhale. And then keep that breath pattern going. Inhale for 4 and exhale for 8. The longer we stay in this position, the more the body is allowing us to let go and stretch the shoulder joints. But the more we stay in this pose, we also feel the intensity rising. So if you need to take a step back, that's totally fine. If you need to reposition the body, that's fine. But if you can, finding that stillness and just coming back to those deep, deep breaths. Relaxing the body, sinking into the ground. You have half a minute left here. And then we release. If you feel like it, you could reach your hands a little bit more towards the top edge of your mat. Slowly pulling your elbows a little bit more towards the chest. Release your grip. And then let's open the arms sideways for a second. Just releasing the arms 90 degrees away from the body. Should feel that nice tingly feeling of that deep stretch. If it feels nice, you could turn your head from side to side slowly. To release. Great. And then from here, rolling onto one side, gently pushing yourself up. Coming into a seated position with your feet in front of you and taking your hands behind you, fingertips towards the upper edge of your mat, and then opening your chest here, lifting up to the ceiling and then sinking back down. Let's do that again. Push into your hands, open through your chest, stretch it out. And release, just to counter stretch what we just did. One more time, open up. And release. All right. Let's come up to a seated position, maybe shaking out the wrist here a little bit, and then let's come back to it on the other side. Yes, so just to show you what we're doing now, arms are wide, and this time the right arm comes underneath the left, and then we're coming back into it. Maybe this side is more flexible than the other, or maybe it's the same. Maybe the hand, maybe the elbow, maybe the hands close towards one another, or maybe to twist around. Let's find back our lying down position even. find your comfort. Maybe what you just chose was great. Maybe you need to try out something different. You do you. I'm going to come back to that same position because it just feels so nice. All right, let's open up the arms. Now this time we're going to take right arm underneath the left, cross at the elbows. Find your twist wherever you are, then sink into it. Start to reach your fingertips over the head a little bit more to deepen the stretch and to sink into it here. Back of the head heavy, shoulders heavy, spine heavy, tailbone heavy, pelvis heavy, legs heavy. Let's take a deep breath in here through the nose for 4. Exhale for 8. Inhale for 4. Exhale for 8. If we want more intensity, we're reaching the fingertips more over the head. If we are good where we are, we just stay exactly where we are. We're over halfway there. Let's see if we can take a few more of those nice deep breaths while sticking to this posture, staying with it, even though it gets a little bit uncomfortable. We're trying to keep the body in it. Inhale through the nose for 4. We exhale for 8. One more breath cycle. Exhale for 8. All right, let's release the elbows a little bit more down. Release your arms, place them sideways, 90 degrees away from the body. And just breathe here for a little moment, turning your head from side to side. Great, we're going to roll on to our side, push ourselves up. Let's come into that reset pose. So feet are in front of you, hands are behind you, fingertips towards the upper edge of your mat. Let's take a deep inhale, open and lift your chest. We want to feel like the shoulder blades squeeze together a little bit. And then we sink into it here. Inhale to open up. Exhale to sit down. One more here. Inhale. Exhale to sink into it. All right, pushing ourselves up to a seated position. Maybe give a little shake to your wrists. Well done on that one, everyone. I hope it feels nice. Any movements you feel like taking, go for it. Roll the shoulders, turn your head. And then we're going to get ready for our last stretch, our last pose today. By the way, the washing machine is making very interesting noises. I don't know if you can hear them. I kind of hope not, but if you do, c'est la vie. We just try to imagine that it's part of the ocean breath, I guess. Let's get into the last one. The last one should be super, super relaxing. It can still feel, of course, uncomfortable sometimes, but we're trying to make it as comfortable as possible for ourselves. It's a butterfly pose. So we're going to take the soles of our feet together and eventually we're coming into a folding forward position. All right, so it's going to stretch the hips, the inner thighs, the glutes. Again, if you need to, you can come up to your pillow or whatever you have and then find your position here and folding forward here. Yes, that is always an option. Then, once you're into that forward folding position, maybe if you have more stuff, you can create some sort of table for yourself that you can rest your forehead onto. Yeah, it can also be on your feet. Some people like to do it on the feet. Rest forward. It also depends on what area you're going to be reaching to. Yeah, so it can be either in between the legs or on the feet. You can even make it more high. You can build a whole tower for yourself. Just be creative, find a way that you're super comfortable. Yeah, you want to support yourself so that you can let go and relax. All right, we'll be here for another 2 minutes. So we're going to find the soles of the feet together. Maybe you're already elevated through the hips, maybe not. I'm going to stay just down on the ground. Soles of the feet are together, not super close to your hips, about the distance between your fingers and your elbow away from the hips and the heels. Yeah, so that's it. You can measure it just by pulling the elbow kind of in between and just seeing the length. And then find your position, whatever you're going to be doing. I think I'm going to take my pillow on my feet. And let's get into it. All right, I'm starting the timer. So we're reaching forward. You can place your hands on the mat, or you can take the palms of your hands up towards the ceiling. Find your fold over. And then find your breath. Inhale for 4. Exhale for 8. Keeping those nice deep breaths flowing through the body. Noticing if maybe you're holding on to any tension in your face. And maybe unfrowning your frown if that needs to be done. Unsqueezing your jaw, relax your tongue. Imagine sending your breath into the hip area. Allowing space, openness, lightness. Fully relaxing your spine by resting your forehead down. Let the head be heavy. We have half a minute left. Let's take one more deep breath. Let's inhale through the nose here for 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Now place your hands onto the mat. Walk your hands towards your body to come up to a seated position. And then let's get out of this stretch, releasing any equipment to the side if you need to. And then let's come into that counter stretch. We're going to take the hands behind us again and just whatever feels comfortable for you. It doesn't need to be in any particular way. And we're just going to drop our knees to one side and then drop the knees to the other side. Just to counter stretch for the hips here. I hope that felt good for you. I hope you enjoyed these stretches. It was definitely well deserved after this whole week of work. It's nice to finish it with some nourishing, grounding stretches to finish the week and to finish this challenge as well. Let's come to a seated position here. Again, find your comfortable seats and then place our hands onto the legs here. Let's roll the shoulders up to the ears, circle down. One more time, roll up and down. Good. Coming back to our regular breath and just inhaling for 4. And exhaling for 4. Inhale for 4. Exhale for 4. Let's do it one more time. Inhale. And exhale. Great work, everyone. That is it for today. I hope you're feeling really good, calm, nourished, and I hope you're feeling more openness in your body. Thank you so much for joining this challenge. I hope you had a great one, and I hope to see you again on the next one.